What's up guys, I'm Brogan. Today in this video we're jumping into the GKD Pixel 2. This is a compact pocket-sized retro handheld pre-installed with thousands of our favorite retro games. It's all on a 64GB TF card. This offers a 2.4-inch IPS screen. We've got a durable aluminum body and an 18 mAh battery powering the whole thing. But this is where I get super concerned about the whole experience. $85 is what they're charging for this. $85 for a 2.4-inch IPS screen and an 18 mAh battery. That may sound good on a spec sheet, 18 mAh, but that's like I would say probably 2.5 to 3 hours of active gameplay, just based off of my experience with similar handhelds. Not too impressive. So $85. If you told me it came with 220s in the packaging, I would be a lot less concerned. So we're going to unbox this, we're going to tour through everything that this offers, we'll see what games are on here, we'll check out the performance, and we'll weigh in at the end of this video to see if it's worth it or if it's too damn expensive. Let's dive into it. Alright guys, this is the box that it came in. Let's see what we've got inside here. So, very nice look to the packaging. Hopefully that's not what we're paying for. Let's open this sucker up. Alright, so little user manual right here. Let's thumb through that really quickly. Walks through the layout and design here. It's in, so far, every language except English. There we go. All right, so it does walk through the operations on here. We've got a frequent asked questions area, and then we've also got a warranty certificate, which if we're buying on Amazon, we're never going to bother with. Let's go ahead and open this up. So it looks like we've got the purple one here. This comes in multiple colors. And damn, that is small. Holy moly, that is tiny. Yeah, $85 for this. I mean, just to give you an idea, like, okay, here's the last handheld that I reviewed. This is the R36T Max. I believe this is right around the same price, or maybe even a little bit less. And this whole unit is basically the size of the screen right there. So just giving you an idea of the scale of this thing. It is all aluminum on the outside. Feels super durable. Buttons seem to be responsive. Obviously, I'm not in game yet. I'm just kind of playing around with it. But start and select, A, B, X, Y, 4-button configuration. D-pad over here. D-pad feels great. I'll definitely say that. We've got our L1, L2, R1, and R2 up here at the top, which is super fucking awkward. I mean, that does not feel good at all up there. Like, why even? I wouldn't even bother putting them up there. And I bet you we don't have that many games where we actually utilize any of those either, but we're going to find out. Power button on the right-hand side. A 3-button, I mean, I have no idea what that is. Maybe a function button over there. This side, we've got our up and down for our volume control, which I like that it's external volume controls. We got our TF card slot over here, and I believe it said 64 gigabytes. At least that's what I told you guys. Let's double check. This is 64 gigabytes. Very nice. It says Game Kitty on there, so it's not a brand name that's really trusted or recognized, but you know, is what it is. 64 gigabytes, and doesn't want to go back in there. I thought I had it going the right way, but all right, there you go. If you line it up right, it goes in there. Down at the bottom side, you can see that we've got our Type-C port right in the middle to charge this up. We've got our audio jack connection for speakers. If you're really blasting everybody out with the overwhelming volume coming from this little guy, you can plug speakers in, or excuse me, plug headphones in. And we've also got our speakers down there at the bottom, which is, I suppose, the only place on something this small that you could actually seat those. So let's go ahead and fire this up. Power button on the side. Hold that down for a couple seconds, and let's see if it fires up. So those are lights on the side, and I believe that is your battery life indicator. So 4 would be fully charged. So basically look at it as 25, 25, 25, and 25. So currently we're at 75% battery capacity on here. And if we get an indicator once the screen lights up, I bet you that it's going to line up perfectly with that. And if not, then I'm an idiot, and that's just there for aesthetics. But I would imagine it's 25% for each of those lights. 25 times 4 gives you 100%. Let's see. So that's pretty close. It says 65 in the battery up there at the corner. I rounded up to 75. So yeah, seems to be pretty on point. So let's tour through what this has to offer here stock. All right, so I feel like we need a magnifier for this, but we've got arcade over here, which is that green selection. And if we hit that, we open up FBA. We've got Final Burn Neo, so that's Alpha, Neo. Another Final Burn Neo, it looks like. We've got Fly, we've got HB MAME, we've got regular MAME, we've got Sega Naomi over here. So kind of a unique way of kind of touring through this. So if we go into our arcade games on here, everything is the file name, as you can see. It's not really spelled out or anything like that, but it gives you the information. You can somewhat easily figure out what each thing is here. Again, might need a magnifier to see the scraped data there, which is a logo, screenshot, and cover art, or in this case, it's kind of makeshift cover art since we're in arcade. There doesn't appear to be a game count on here, which is kind of challenging, I suppose. So start is the back button, which is interesting. I guess you'd have to kind of reprogram yourself if you're used to going through these. We've got, let's go into Final Burn Neo, and I guess we can go into either of these. So that one's empty. So it must all be in here. Okay. So yeah, I'm not counting these one by one, and there's no clear game count on here. So I have no idea how many games are included, but it does look to be, yeah, I mean, it does look like there's a lot of titles on here. But yeah, in terms of knowing the exact count, there's no way to really know. All right, so start to back out. Let's see what's in here. Yeah, so some of these are empty, like MAME is full. Is this... Yeah, I mean, it's kind of all over the place, and it looks like some of these titles are repeating between these different collections, but whatever. We'll back out. Let's see, back out again. How the heck do you back out? Okay, so it's start when you're in the collections. It's the, what is that? The B button down here at the bottom if you're not in those collections. So kind of weird. We've got a handheld collection here, and that opens up, okay, Game & Watch, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Gear over here from Sega, Nintendo DS. So let's go into, so inside here, we're in the Game Boy Advance currently. And you can see we got all the Pokemon titles, which is cool. We've got Kirby in here. And these are kind of numbered, I suppose. Donkey Kong Country, looks like all the Donkey Kongs. We got some Crash Nitro Kart in here. So this looks like a pretty sweet collection for Game Boy Advance. And I should have gone the opposite way because then we could have gotten to the bottom a lot quicker. So far, we're on 60 titles right now, and we're only down to, well, I guess it's not in alphabetical order, right? No, because M came after T. Kind of all over the place. But yeah, I'd love to know how many titles total we have. If you hold down on the D-pad, nothing happens. So you're stuck kind of chopping away at it one by one on the D-pad, up or down. So yeah, I mean, lots of good titles in here. I'm seeing all the Pokemons again. We had Sonic in here, Donkey Kong in here, Bomberman in here, Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX. We got a bunch of Disney titles in here. I mean, it seems to be pretty stacked to say the least, but man, it just goes on and on and on. So, I mean, that's a good thing at the end of the day. It's just kind of hard to find what you're looking for because, again, it has the numbers there and it's not going by the letters. So, like, again, we have World Safari up here, and then we have Gold Nugget Casino, and then we have GT Advance. We got H titles here. So it sometimes appears like it's in alphabetical order, and then it clearly isn't. So, all right, we're going to back out of that. But there's a lot of titles. No clear game count once again, but seems to be pretty stacked. We'll go into now Game Boy Color. This breaks it down into two different files, or excuse me, two different folders where this is A through M titles. This is N through Z titles. And we'll just kind of loop upwards. So yeah, I mean, it is a lot of games on here, a whole lot. And these games don't take up much space at all, so there's no reason not to have them. Now let's go down. We have Game Gear, we have Nintendo DS. Let's see what we have for DS. So we have Pokemon in here, we have some Diddy Kong Racing, we have Super Princess Peach, we got Animal Crossing, Cars, we got Kung Fu Panda 2, Alien Infestation, we got some Lego Star Wars in here. Yeah, I mean, again, no clear count, but it seems to be absolutely stacked. We'll back up. Neo Geo Pocket, Neo Geo Pocket Color. We got Pokemini in here. We got PSP, which I want to check out PSP and at least get an idea of how many titles are in here. We got some Ridge Racer, which I feel like that would be really bizarre to play with a D-pad, but hey, I'm willing to give it a go. Yeah, I mean, lots of games in here as well. Having no game count is crazy, though. Absolutely nuts. Wonder Swan Color. And is that everything here? That appears to be everything for handheld collections. We're going to back out. Now we have home console collections over here. And in here we have 3DO, we have Atari, we have Atari 2600, 5200, 7800. After Atari 7800, we have Dreamcast now. So just 3 titles here. We've got Crazy Taxi 2, Sonic Adventure 2 down there at the bottom. These are decent titles. I mean, I'd love to have a lot more, but at the same time, would we even be able to play Dreamcast on something like this? This is, not the most straightforward setup. Mega Drive here from Sega. We have Mega Drive 32X. We have N64. Let's see how many N64 games we've got. Looks like 5. Diddy Kong Racing, Dr. Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, Paper Mario, and Road Rash 64. So that is everything and they're not all scraped. In fact, looks like only 2 are scraped. So we only get the images for 2 of these. We'll back out. And I will jump into some of these games so we can test out the performance momentarily. We have Neo, GOCD. We have PC Engine over here. Is that everything? No, we're going to keep moving. Okay, cool. We've got PlayStation. Let's see what we have for PlayStation. It looks like, I don't know, maybe 15 titles, I would guess. Tekken 3 is in here, Tomb Raider, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Also, maybe awkward to play these games with, the limited setup we have. No analog sticks, which not all PlayStation games, had access to the analog sticks, depended if you went with the original PlayStation or, the later ones. But yeah, I mean, I would be lying if I said that I didn't play, at least Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 with the analog sticks usually. We'll back out of this one. I still want to hit the B button, but it's start to back out. We have PS Duck over here as well. So that gives you access to, it looks like the same titles. So it may appear like there's more, but it's the same ones. We have Sega CD, we have Super Famicom, we have Virtual Boy, we have Sega Master System, we have Sega Saturn, okay, Vectrex as well. Sega Saturn only has 4 games. We've got Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Crusader, we've got Dark Savior, and this one here is just Advance. Okay. So yeah, Vectrex, Virtual Boy. So, I mean, there's a lot of collections here, and they do seem to be pretty well stacked with games. So we're going to back out of this collection. And then we have one that's labeled Other over here. And that one has in here just random emulators, it looks like. Nothing that, let's see. So MSX series, we've got Beats of Rage, so open bore. We've got, yeah, I mean, Pico imports. Okay, yeah, nothing too exciting here. All right, so we got at least a taste of what this offers. Now let's dive into some games. Oh, there's apps over here too in settings. Let's go into apps. Yeah, so play music and videos, run RetroArch, so your settings and stuff like that's in here, file manager. Yeah, nothing too exciting. All right, so we're gonna jump into some games. Let's test out the performance in a few of these collections to at least see what the potential is for this handheld right here.
Hey, let's go. All right, don't be thrown off, man. I know. Go for it.
All right, guys, the GKD Pixel 2. Let's start out nice and easy with this guy. So we jumped in here. We tore through everything it has to offer. The options are great. I mean, we have a lot of games on here. I have no idea what the game count is because the collections just aren't laid out nicely. But there is a ton of games on here. I think everything that you're looking for the collections that are here, with the exception of like Dreamcast, maybe PlayStation and N64, those were pretty light. But everything else is pretty stacked. There's a lot to choose from on here. You'll have a blast playing Donkey Kong Country on here. You'll have a blast playing, Zelda on here. A lot of those old, Super Nintendo NES games you're going to have a great experience with. Even N64, performance is not the issue here at all. PSP ran very smooth on here. N64 was smooth. Dreamcast was smooth. I had a great experience performance-wise. It's too damn small. 2.4-inch IPS screen on here. It's a nice screen. It's vibrant. It pops. Looks great. But it's just too small. The controls are super awkward because it's that smaller scale. Buttons are very responsive. D-pad is great. I'm a big fan of it. The shoulder and trigger buttons at the top, absolutely horrendous. I mean, they just plop them down up there. You can see me struggling in the games where I utilize the, I think I was using the R1 and R2 more than anything. And it's just super awkward to balance this because, of course, you still have to be rocking the D-pad. You still got to be hitting your A and B. And then to also try to add that into the mix, but there's nowhere to like stabilize it. It's horrendous. So it's unfortunate because the performance is there. It looks really cool. It's all aluminum, so it's very durable. If I chucked this as hard as I could across the room, I'm confident that it would be intact and still work perfectly. But $85 for something this small, I just can't get behind it. Like I said before, if inside the box there were 220s in here, then you know what? This is a very different review. But the way that it is currently, it just does not warrant the price tag. If they made this 3 times bigger, I might think differently about it. Even 3 times bigger, though, I don't think that. I think there's other options out there that are going to get you into a lot better performance and overall experience for a fraction of the price. So $85. Hell no for me. If this was $40, I'd probably still be on the fence just because it's so small. And I like the convenience of throwing something in your pocket and, pulling it out in the parent pickup line when the car's in park, of course. Or if you're just killing some time, you pull it out and you play a couple rounds of Tekken 3. That's cool. I can get behind that, but not at $85. Let me know what you guys think. Is this worth $85 to you guys? Hit me up in the comments and let me know. If you want to learn more about this, I'll provide links in the description, as well as the pinned comment on this video. But hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. That's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for the support. Thanks for watching the channel. Be sure to hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.